but I don't have that sword. Like, see, there's the sword right there, but that's not that sword. Correct. That is exactly the thing. It's like, but I don't have that one. Wah. That said, it's been a little bit since we've checked in at the guy who can make us legendary items. So let's see if we can just go make that sword. Because we've gotten a bunch of runes over having these broken builds flying like crazy, so let's see if we can make us a new sword. I was also kind of hoping we'd unlock another character. But do we, though? Do we have that sword at home? We might. We'll find out. Okay, we can make it. Though actually I'm not that worried about it now that I see what it does. I'm not actually as interested anymore. All it does is make Roar last longer, which is great, don't get me wrong, but it's not exciting like I was hoping it would be. This one, though, this could be a thing, but I can't make this one. Where we can make Madness Wave bigger. I was betting it wasn't going to be anything either, based on the fact that it was called the Longsword of Roaring. It was likely to be attached to the Roar skill, but I didn't know. I had no way to know till I had it in hand, or looked at it here. Let's see, we already have a Lightning Striker. We have the Glacier Crusher. I don't think we have the Meteor Chaser for the Spellblade yet. And that one could be fun, just flinging meteors everywhere when we Vortex Slash. We have a Frozen Blade in storage, I think. I think we've seen this one. I'm not sure if we've used that one yet or not. This one I think we've seen. I'm just seeing what other legendaries we don't have at this point, and the answer is not many. We've actually completed most of what's available in early access, I guess. Both collecting the weapons and armor and clearing the areas. So the only other thing left to do really would be to beat the early access with Spellblade now, which is the other reason why I was looking at Spellblade weapons. I would make the Dancing Flame, but I physically can't. I'm missing a rune. And the Phoenix Sword served us well for a while, but Meteor Chaser might be better. But I also need a... Oh, is that the reason? No, because I don't have the runes either. I was gonna say, is the reason that I can't make the Dancing Flame because I don't have a dagger? Yeah, because I need to put a weapon in there in order to turn it into Meteor Chaser. So first, let's go become the Spellblade again, so that we can grab a one-handed sword that does magic damage. Because I don't know if it's going to convert from physical to magical damage when we turn it into the legendary weapon. First, let's put these extra things in storage. have so much legendary crap in here. Just it's so silly. The fact that you're just drowning in legendary weapons in this game. Weapons and armor. Because some of these things will be usable by either as well, which is the other reason why I'm making sure to put them all away. Because your inventory is unique per character. Well, yeah, that's one of the inspirations for it, almost certainly, is the Diablo series. Just listen to that music alone and you get that idea immediately. So, oh, okay, what's actually in your inventory does carry over. For some reason I thought it didn't. Yeah, right now we're wielding the Glacier Crusher, which a lot of what we're wearing is actually going to be kind of terrible by comparison right now because the gear level is so much lower. Because we did a bunch of more recent runs with the Berserker, which raised our gear level. I didn't realize we had a Ring of Infinity. Huh. I was filing the Ring of Infinity under one of the ones we hadn't seen yet, so I didn't remember seeing it. Yes. Is note the fact that unlike the one we were wearing with the Berserker where it only awarded 1 point, this variant awards 3 points to every skill that has points put in it. I did not mean to put it back in storage. So basically everything I put in a point in is going to start at level 4. So that should be helpful. Now the thing is, I'm assuming whatever sword I upgrade is probably going to stay at its gear score, so I'm going to need a better sword. Oh, there's a champion's dagger. Oh, okay, they use the same models and everything, they just switch between magical and physical attack depending on who's purchasing it. Okay. I'm gonna grab that dagger as well, in case that is relevant, which it might be, because there is something dagger related that was available. And we might do a bit of gambling as well. Sounds good, Snork, you have a good time. And a reminder for those that are going to be watching the VODs later, if you watch it on YouTube, it's going to be split by run this time, so I can see if that actually does anything significant. I don't think we actually had a Blade of Frost, because I think I got rid of it. But I had wanted Meteor Chaser. Okay, yeah, you get to see the quality of the Meteor Chaser you're gonna make. And yeah, it comes out at gear level 8, which... yeah, that's what that sword is already, so... I think my theory is correct. Apparently... no, I can't use the dagger, okay. It was acting like I could because it wasn't, like, removed or anything. There we go, we now have the Meteor Chaser, which is one of the legendaries we didn't have yet. And it doesn't seem to have removed any options, so I don't think it consumes the rune. I think you just need to unlock the rune. Because you'll notice, no matter how many times we picked up these runes, they didn't change the count of that rune or anything. We just have it. Oh, we could try higher difficulties too, yeah, because that's how you get some of the other runes, but you have to play on Nightmare, it looks like, for most of these. So that's spooky. Spooky. Let's see, is there anything else I want to do anything with here? Celestial armor we don't have, I don't think, but all it does is increase max health. I'm not that interested. And I think, other than that, the Frostspiked Sword, I think, might be one of the few ones we don't have? I feel like we have seen that sword. I don't know. A few of these I feel like I have seen, and I just am not sure. Let's go double check the storage, because I genuinely am having brain fart. Okay, no, we have Frozen Blade, Lightning Striker, and Phoenix Sword, and then the Ice Axe. I knew I had a weapon of each element in storage. I just feel like I have seen the other ones, but it may be that, like I said, I got rid of those. These two probably should be removed at this point, though, because they're such low gear levels. I should probably replace them. Like, all the armor and such is all gear level 8s, which is the other reason for making the trade I did. Oh yeah, I should put on the better Clara's hood we have, too. Unless I'm planning on using Kamara's Belief. Which I feel like we've been leaning into crit chance a little too much already today, so I'm not gonna keep abusing that, but I am gonna grab the better pendant. Unless I just want to put on the Frozen Blade just for sake of the better magic attack. But if I'm not using cold amplification, it really doesn't matter. And yeah, I'm gonna get rid of these two. Because I'm assuming I can't just throw a legendary in and upgrade it to itself. Yeah, I can't do that. Let's test a theory. Yeah, see, it comes out at gear level 4, so you don't want to use a low gear weapon to make a thing. But if I take the physical damage one, yeah, it stays at physical attack, so you don't want that either. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. So put on the Ruon's Will. We've got the Meteor Chaser, better Clara's Hood, better Pendant. Though we do lose some intelligence, which is unfortunate, but we can get that fixed up. Is there any of these that I actually want to keep? Because this one's only gear level 4 as well, so I feel like I should just make new ones of all of the Spellblade weapons at this point. I'm gonna hang on to the Champion's Dagger for the moment, because that's the one that's gonna turn into our new ice weapon. This is also, yeah, these are all low gear levels, so I think they're just all going away. I'm just gonna sell all of them. They did good work for a while, but it's time for them to go. And having a lot more potions should help carry us forward as the Spellblade more too, because a lot of the problems we had were we just ran out of potions and died. I just need to remember now that my priority is magic attack, not physical attack. It is sad to sell legendary items. There's a part of me that's always just so unhappy to sell those. Let's see. And I know I'm delaying us making forward movement by sitting here doing this, but just bear with me a second. This won't take long to do. So these are only going to be gear level 7s, so they're not as good. But they'll do till I get a gear level 8. We can also do a bit of gambling. Grab a handful of random weapons. See if I can roll some better shoes. See if I can roll a better belt. Gloves are pretty good, but we'll see if we can get better ones. And most of these are probably going to end up being garbage. 7, 6, 7, 7. Yeah, see, we didn't end up rolling a better gear level out of that, for example. What do these do? They're 7 intelligence. So these are an immediate upgrade. My gauntlets are damage reduction and magic damage. So none of these are particularly important. None? Okay. And our belts are gold gain, critical chance, and intelligence. And I'm wearing 10 intelligence already. So I'll take the 10 extra armor, because that's probably a good idea. And let's see if we can legendaryify any of these in a relevant capacity. Because now legendarify is a word, apparently. I've decided that this is a word now. So let's see, it was the frost spiked sword I wanted, right? Blade of Frost is interesting, and I could turn the dagger into that, since I do have a dagger on hand. The axe, I think, was supposed to be a better Glacier Crusher, but we could also try the Frostwolf's Teeth instead. Yeah, that looks pretty good, actually. Yeah. Give that a shot. Because I don't think we've had that one yet, so we can grab that for if we do an ice run today. Or at all, really. The menu's a little finicky to navigate. I'm also a little sad that doesn't seem to be any legendary belts or boots or anything yet either. I mean, we may as well make the frostspiked sword too. Why not? Yeah, but see, in order to cancel out of the... Oh, now I see what it's expecting me to do at that stage of things, and I just didn't understand it. Because I am stupid sometimes. Because what it wants you to do is actually switch back to the Book of Runes, but you would think canceling out of over there would make sense. Which is where the confusion comes in. Okay. Oh wait, lightning. We don't have the lightning weapon anymore. We're probably gonna just get one of these, knowing my luck, but I'm just making one of each just so I have them again until we find better ones. Okay, fixed it. This way that's all caught up, and now we can go back in more confidently with the Spellblade. Having spent a bunch of our currency, but it's not like we're gonna use it for much else anymore anyway, considering we're maxed out on potions. Now, is there anything on any of these I want to change? I mean, the Clara's Hood doesn't have any useful bonuses to us on it, so I probably should change that. We're not doing cold right now, so that's not helpful. Try again. Quit it with the cold damage. Physical damage also doesn't help. You know what? Sure, skill cost reduction. Just so I stop staring at that specific item anymore. This needs to not have physical damage. Dexterity I can live with. Dexterity applies to both characters, so that's fine. This also needs its physical damage thing changed out. Strength is not what I want either. What did I just say? Please. Thank you. Make it brain stick now. This could do with a better buff as well. Sure, gold gain will do. Oh, right, as soon as I changed one, I think I can't change the other anymore. Yeah, they lock it in. I keep forgetting about that. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Good enough. I don't want to sit there and stare at that too long. I just wanted to make sure to fix that at least a little bit. Because like I said, we're going to be trying a higher difficulty, so I needed to be a little bit careful. Oh, there's literally only Adventure and Nightmare. I thought there was a difficulty in between. Oh, this is how you get gear 11 through 20 as well. Enemy life plus 300%, plus 500% attack damage. Oh, that is scary. But we're doing it. We're gonna die. We are so gonna die. If these nightmare runs end up super short, I'm probably gonna just put them all together at the end of the VOD. Oh yeah, we're doing like no damage to them. Oh no. We're back to like it was when we first started the game. Which is not a bad thing. Because they don't feel like exceptionally spongy, per se. I just feel like I've been reset. Which is why gear was important, because if I was still using those gear level 4 items, I probably would be hating life trying to hurt them at all right now. But I really don't want to know what happens if we get hit. I feel like if we get hit, we just explode. Look at that. Level 4 Sword of Fire straight away. Hey, thanks to the armor bonus. Yeah, now we're doing damage. Okay. That feels a lot better. Shocking. Doing significantly higher damage feels better. What a concept. But I'm probably gonna have to play my synergies a lot more carefully. I say as I get everything that's wrong, more or less, for what we're doing. Take this for now. Is burn a damage over time in this game? I think it was. It's been long enough since I've used Spellblade now. It's been like 2 sessions of Berserker. Both the one on camera and the one off camera before that. This does unfortunately mean that I'm probably gonna be putting this game down after today, at least till it gets some updates though. Because we've now seen the available content, basically. Unless there's some hidden way to get one of the other classes unlocked. Because there was a Revenant mentioned in the load screen tooltips. So I'm kind of curious if that's actually achievable right now, or if that's like just a teaser hint thing. I don't really need the mana recovering. I also feel like I was building the Spellblade like horrifically inefficiently. Which, you know, me build things inefficiently? Crazy. Never happens. Wild concept. No one would ever say that that's a thing that happens. I should be picking carefully, but I'm gonna meme, and I'm gonna die. I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I can't resist temptation. So we're doing it. We're going the excavation build. If it ends in tears, well, comedy. Don't make crazier things more expensive. It's like that food seemed like it was crazy expensive. And I didn't realize that till after I had already grabbed it, or I probably would have skipped it in favor of making myself stronger. Well, guess it doesn't matter. We're just going forward then. Everything is fine, except it probably isn't. Everything is fine, but I'm probably gonna die. Let's see, prayer of assassination or holy oil. That is good for me, so I'll take that. Because we are going for fire. So anything that makes fire better is probably wise. I don't know if we're gonna manage to complete a nightmare run. I have a bad feeling that we're not gonna make it. Max life or max resources? I'm gonna be kind of relying on my resources more this time, because I'm gonna have to hit them with heavier skills to chip through things, so we'll go ahead and go with the resources this time. The concerning part to this is whether I can make it through for that to matter, or if I'm gonna die here. Case in point, I died here because I made one misstep that led to me getting stun locked by those skulls, which is what I was afraid of. That's what that area was gonna kill me with, if anything was going to, is I was just gonna get immediately stopped in place by the skulls. Okay, and it is still set to Nightmare. That said, since it's Nightmare Cliffshire, does that mean... Yes, this means I can get better items this way too, it looks like. Well then, that's a way to help us out a little bit then, isn't it? So let's get some level 11 to 13 shoes, some level 11 to 13 gloves and belts. So I can't help but notice that they've re-rolled back to the original skins for these. Man, that's a big armor increase and a big stat difference. Jesus. I think we found the real game, guys. Yeah, and we found a level 12 sword. So what this means is we should go upgrade that sword instead, so bear with me for a second. Because I feel like this is going to make a massive difference, so we're going to have to do that. Because that is a like 4 gear level difference. It's a good thing this doesn't cost much to do, huh? Hi, I'm back. I need you to make the same thing you made a minute ago. What'd you do, break it? Not exactly. Oh, is that not enchantable because it's only basic? Oh, well, that's fucking unfortunate. Well, never mind that then. I could go get one, but I'm just gonna accept my fate on that one at that point. The armor upgrade will have to be enough. Because at the very least, we did get a decent intelligence increase. Hey there, Jay. So far, I'm doing fine. How about you? We've basically beaten the available content in this game. I'm just playing the higher difficulty now and learning that it is... well, higher difficulty. It definitely is higher difficulty. Because we got bodied it almost immediately. Appreciate that. Let's see if we can roll a better belt right quick. Not as much a better belt as I would like, but I'll take the critical damage belt. And we still want to try with the gloves a little bit. The strength ones would be great on the other guy. We'll go ahead and take the dexterity ones, because that'll make our crit chance soar a bit. Not you. Which, that's another thing, is I can always just re-roll the stats on them, but I don't really want to sit here and do that either. This'll have to do. Off to hell we go. At the very least, we have higher defense than we did before. Like, hell, we have almost as much defense as we did at the end of a couple runs now. But I will say, even for this being incomplete, the amount of areas you get to in the early access is actually still very significant. Like, a good run seems to last like an hour-ish. So, I'd say that's pretty good. That does mean, though, that an actual full version run's probably going to be a couple hours. Or unless you speed through things. So that's interesting. There we go, get Sword of Fire back so we can actually do proper damage. That was a misstep. Very painful misstep. It's just like back when we first started this game, one misstep is near instant death. Which is what makes things exciting. Also, very painful, though. Oh. These are the spicy runs, for sure. We seem to get more purple currency on this difficulty immediately as well. Don't seem like we get more gold, which that just makes nothing but sense. If you gained too much more gold just in the run immediately, you would scale quicker, which would reduce the overall increase to the difficulty, which could be a blessing or a curse depending on how much they scale the difficulty. Magic attack and attack speed. We seem to be getting some different artifacts as well, so I wonder if there are some like nightmare specific artifacts that are just better or something. Or if maybe some of the patches I saw go by added more artifacts. Because there were some patches without that much in the way of patch notes. So they could have like shadow dropped in some items. Yeah, elements is something I do want, so we'll take the Spectre's Hand. Grab a couple keys so I stop having those situations where I can't open the boxes. Because everybody likes opening the boxes. The armor's probably gonna be handy, so we'll take that. Yeah, that one only cost 500, so I wonder why the other food was so expensive. Mithril armor would have been kind of nice, but for the price, it's not worth it. We're not jolting, so the Hunter's Feather's not particularly useful. I think I'll just go for skill points. I say as I get every skill other than the one I want. There's Leap Slash, which is not the skill we have a bonus for, but it'll be useful to have a skill, so we'll take it and run with it anyway. Because we can always get a refund on it later, or if I really don't want it. You're giving me Sturdiness and Prayer of Winter this time. Sturdiness wouldn't be a bad thing, but luck might be more useful to me. Yeah. Because if we start getting the resource refunding rolling, we'll be able to just spam the skill that we're getting a bonus from our sword for. So that might work itself out. Keyword to that being might. I'm gonna stick with my plan, because the only reason we died before is I didn't use a potion when I was getting pummeled, but I also couldn't move, so 6 and 1 half dozen the other really there. But point being, if I'm not having a chance to use a potion, then more potions isn't gonna solve anything. This is these mages with their skull spell that's the most dangerous thing in this section. And for us now, is the hit stun on that skull spell is brutal. Okay. Yeah, because the thing is, the thing we have an upgrade for is up here. Vortex Slash. That's gonna take us a bit to get to. So we needed something to use in the interim. And I might actually take both of these, because Orbital Fire will be good for fighting at a distance. And there's gonna be times where we're gonna need to fight at a distance with this difficulty, I feel. And of course, Leap Slash didn't get the +3 because we didn't physically put a point in there. We got a purchased point, which is handled differently. In case people are like, well, why is this one not got as much? Well, there's your reasoning. You can either agree or disagree with the reasoning, but the reasoning is what it is. Like, I'm back to having to fight carefully, and that's kind of a good thing, honestly. I was starting to get really lazy with how strong we were getting. But that's how it goes, is you become too powerful and you start getting complacent. And the moment you get complacent, let's go ahead and grab this one, even though I'm not really interested in it. I want to get to Destructive Sword of Fire. And if we could even get, like, one natural legendary from this difficulty, I feel like we will get so much more powerful. Much like when we first got our first legendary on normal difficulty, we became so much more effective. Skill points, basic skill damage, core damage, skill point. Because the more I advance my skill points, the more I can push towards getting the thing I want. And get that ball rolling. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to want fire amplification because of the area damage it's going to do for me just automatically. Like, it's not gonna do a lot of area damage, so it's not gonna, like, kill something for me, necessarily. At least not straight away. But it'll help chip down things that are already injured. Like, save me a swing and things like that. To help, hopefully, help prevent that kind of thing from happening. We got screwed on that elite, really, because I didn't expect the poison balls to appear right on top of me like that and just like dead. Get owned, nerd. Is basically what happened there. So yeah, there's gonna be a fair few runs in a single video. Because we're getting our ass kicked on this difficulty. But, oh, apparently I was holding the button down even though I was just kind of hovering my finger over the button. Sure thing, game. So how about that higher level sword? And of course, there's the question mark of, do I keep trying to make the Meteor Chaser work, or do I roll back to Phoenix Sword so that I can use the Leap Slash bonus, because Leap Slash comes up sooner? There's an argument to be made for that. I wish I had the runes for Dancing Flame, because Dancing Flame would also solve my problem. Which then also rolls me to the other question of, do I give up on fire and go in on the Frost Spike Sword so I use Sword of Frost and it has the same triple hit that I would get out of Dancing Flame? Like, there's a lot of options in play here. And the thing is, if I do go for Frostspike Sword, I could also bring out the Frozen Blade and actually make use of Cold Amplification. Or I'd use what was most effective previously, which was Lightning. But this involves casting Lightning Strike, which is way down the tree. So I'm gonna stick to my guns for now, I think. Because I really want to see what this Vortex Slash upgrade actually does. It's going to need a reroll because it's got strength on it, but we can fix that in a second. Yeah, because we're getting 4 more magic attacks straight up from that, which may not sound like much, and it probably really isn't that much, but every little bit helps. And right now, with us getting our ass kicked on Nightmare, we need all the help we can get. Arguably, what I should do is make a better Ruon's Will, which, even if it doesn't have all of the skill point bonuses, it would have more defense. But I'm being stubborn and silly on that score right now. '26 intelligence. There we fucking go. That's what we like best. That'll solve some problems. Because between the two of those things, we're starting at 66 magic attack. Yeah, this is a gear level 8 Ruon Will, so it's not terrible defense. It's as good as anything else we have currently. The bonuses on it are a little poopy. Okay, you know what? I've talked myself into it. This one has intelligence on it, so this is the winner, the one in the middle. And it's blue quality and already has 59 armor, so it's definitely going to be a sizable increase with the 4 level difference. Just a matter of making the trade. This is when I find out that it costs too much purple and I can't actually do it. And then I'm sad. Oh, I don't even have the rune for Ruon's Will. Well, son of a bitch. Things I should have checked beforehand. That. But there is a workaround for that. There is a workaround for that. It's Specifically, what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna upgrade one of these to a Celestial Armor rather. This will give us more armor and the intelligence bonus, and we gain a bunch of extra life. What we do is we start off using the Celestial Armor, and then once we have a few skills under our belt, we switch to the Ruan's Will, take the hit on our armor value in exchange for the increased skill points. You see the idea there? You see the sneaky trick? It's not that much of a sneaky trick, but it's just enough that it might make a difference for us. Because the hope is that it'll at least give us enough armor leverage to not die immediately to some of the things that have been just devastating us. An argument can be made for redoing our rings as well, because they are... They're both physical attack, I just realized. Yeah, it's probably better to sit here and do just a little bit more prep rather than rushing off and dying again. I just gotta find rings that are magic attack. Just go Gamp. Oh no, I'm almost out of purple, so I don't think I can do that right now, can I? Not and upgrade them, probably. They are both... Well, one of them is a magic attack ring. That does bring us up to 84 magic attack instead of 78. Literally putting this on apparently didn't make a difference, which is odd. Even though it's got a 10% all magic damage bonus. Not gonna worry about it. We'll just wear that one. If we can afford to upgrade the ring, great. If we can't, then off we go. Though I probably should sell the things that I'm carrying that I'm not gonna use, and that'll probably make it possible to afford that. He says, totally not trying to pad out time at all, and stalling to not get his teeth kicked in again. Basic items sell for more than that legendary does. Ooh, that's painful. Ooh, pain. God damn it. I keep forgetting that it puts you on the other side. Because you would think if you exit this room going left, you should appear on the right side of that room, but you instead appear on the left side. Because non-Euclidean geometry. Yeah, I can't afford any of them. I was pretty sure they were too expensive. But for some reason, my brain dumped what the cost was, and I just had nothing. Now let's see if this makes any difference at all. Pro tip, probably isn't going to. I'm gonna need to play significantly better to start getting back in. And the Spellblade starts out a little weaker, I would say. It would probably help if I stopped stubbornly trying to use nothing but fire. with relation to my skills. Yeah, I don't seem to be killing them that much quicker, which is not really that much of a shock. The main hope is that we'll scale a little bit better with the slightly higher starting values. Wow, I dodged right into that one. Brain, do we need to have a talk? Did you really think it was a good idea to jump into that sword? It's gonna be one of those days now, huh? Where this just becomes comedy of errors over and over again. Like, this is basically just blooper reel at this point. On the bright side, at least we're not getting diminishing returns too badly on our meta currency for purchasing elixirs. Because being alive for a minute doubled the amount of money we had left over. So on the bright side, getting to the point where we'll be able to afford to upgrade the rings will actually not take long. Especially if I make it more than 5 feet. Like, my attack patterns have just become really bad because of getting so used to killing things in like 2 hits. Even when we didn't have the broken mode going, these early guys, we were so used to just rolling over even before we had a skill. There's an argument to be made where if you want to cheese the system a bit, you could probably just rush chests on Nightmare, even very early on, and get things you have no business having and get a lot of currency very quickly. Like, I don't know if it's a good idea per se, but it's a idea. And I'm not giving up on the meme build, by the way. I just want people to know that. Just because we're having trouble doesn't mean the meme is dead. Just means I'm gonna build something somewhat sensible around the meme instead of foregoing the meme. There we go. Now that we have Fire Sword going, I think the amount of damage we have is scaling a little better than it did before. We just needed to be actually using our magic damage. Because obviously your original basic attack wasn't utilizing your magic damage yet, as far as I've been able to tell. Advanced Soul Gem. Kind of open for skill points, but this is fine. Just gonna grab a couple keys. I probably bought too many considering how frequently we've been dying, but I'm hoping. Just hoping and coping. This would have actually been kind of nice to have, though not super important. I think I'm actually gonna purchase skills. Oh my god, I can get Vortex Slash. There we go. We might be in business now. Assuming those meteors do anything at all relevant, this should work out. We might have something here. We might be in go mode. Prayer of Assassination or Prayer of Winter? How about no? Nirvana or Luck? I'll take Luck. Out of those options, that's probably the winning choice. Extra potion carrying, and resources. Again, we never end up using all of our potions because we die so damn fast, so potion capacity really isn't the vital part. If one of those was max health, I would have taken that in a heartbeat. Yeah, that helps. Yeah, that helps. Considering, you know, we just obliterated the room with a swing, I'd say that's helpful. We'll grab Orb of Fire as a supplement. And this is why we keep the pendant of healing when you level, because if we didn't have that pendant, that heal would not have happened, and then we would have been dead. Which obviously part of that is the fact that I've just gotten so used to having that heal. So obviously I could probably do just as well without it if I got used to not having it again. But I'm used to having it, so we'll roll with that for now. The Oath of Pride is tempting, but I don't think damage reduction is going to be enough yet. So I guess Reconciliation it is for now, just so I get the extra damage. So that'll probably be one of the first ones replaced. Just purely by virtue of the fact that it doesn't attach to anything I'm intending. I really hoped he was going to get paralyzed on that, and he didn't. My own fireballs scared the hell out of me for a second there, because I'm like, oh god, death is coming for me. And then it wasn't actually dangerous to me at all. That's how on edge I am everywhere I'm going right now. With this difficulty. Considering one sneeze in the wrong direction and we can get obliterated. Yeah, this should carry us long enough that we can actually become capable on our own. At least that's the hope. The real test of this is going to be getting past Tree Man, which I think we're at now. Yep, Home of Longmore. If we can get past him, though, we get a new rune, potentially, and a much stronger legendary of some kind. Though him having 3 times the health, that's going to be nightmare fuel. Like, we just really pounded into him there, and I feel like I did nothing. Oh, those spears are bad. I didn't even have a chance to react there. I popped the potion, and the spear just appeared underneath me. Yep, that's why I was afraid of fighting him, because those spears and the skull spam spell. The skull spam I'm not as afraid of because I have a bit easier a time dodging that. Those spears, half the time I'm just not focusing enough to spot them before they come up, so I just get tagged immediately by them. Though, thinking about it, I'm not sure how helpful either Surging Passion or Ring of Infinity is actually going to be to us. Thinking about it. Is like, getting resources back is all well and good. But that's all both of these do, is just recharge resources. And as potent as the meteors were, I think I'm actually gonna put that idea aside. I don't think that idea is gonna work right now. So I think I'm gonna grab a sword and make the frostbite sword and see how that works out for us. And I'll make the Surging Passion anyway, because it still adds a bonus to this that wasn't there before. I'm just not sure if it's as worth it as I would like it to be. Because the unfortunate thing with turning one of those into a legendary is it doesn't actually raise its stat bonuses or anything at all. It just adds the extra legendary effect. Which re-rolling the side effects on that ring may have more of a benefit to us. You may be wondering, like, if you're having this much trouble, why don't you go back to a lower difficulty? Where's the fun in that? We've beaten the lower difficulty. The only thing left now is to keep grinding my face into this until we get somewhere, because remember, we got our ass kicked for a while when we first started normal difficulty too, so getting your ass kicked is just part of the process. I meant to change weapons and I almost didn't, because remember, we're going to be switching from fire to ice and see if that works out any better. That's going to involve me getting a sword. So that's going to be the one complicated bit to this. So none of those are magic swords. I do have an ice... I do have a magic dagger. And I do have the gear level 7 frostbite sword, if it comes down to it. We just don't have as big a buff on that. Do I give up the heal on level thing that just saved our life? No, I think we keep the heal on level because I'm just doing a really questionable job of defending myself half the time right now. Okay, we got a sword, but we're too poor now. So if these don't sell enough, they're not going to, I don't think. We're just short. But if we sell the old version of it, we can make it. No, we can't. That math's not gonna math. Well, we'll just make do with this version for the second then, and then we will go make the better one. Or we start ditching all the gear level 7 ones we just made. Which I know, we only just made them, but I didn't realize how much of a jump Nightmare was. sell that one and then sell the old version of the blue sword. And then we'll be able to make the upgrade. This isn't gonna have an intelligence buff on it. It's gonna be the only upsetting thing on this. Because we're not gonna have the money to make the changes. So our int's gonna suffer. I just have to hope that the triple hit on the ice sword straight out is gonna be enough of a boon to carry things for a while till we can get strong enough to stand on our own 2 feet, more or less. The reason why that's a little concerning is ice was usually the weakest one starting out. Like, that is a pretty significant sword. It just doesn't have intelligence on it. Which, there is a caveat to that, though. The increased strength will make the brief period before we gain our ice sword ability easier. Because we'll be able to do more damage before that. And theoretically. Because our physical attack is going to be slightly higher. So there's that. I also could have just not grabbed an elixir and then I wouldn't have needed to sell anything. But I feel like we do need the elixirs. If for nothing else but the experience bonus, just to make sure that we can get ahead of the curve. For a little bit. Some of this is also going to depend on us getting relics that are good enough to boost us along a bit too. Because we've been kind of getting a lot of kind of poopy artifacts. Yeah, I do feel like I'm doing slightly more damage. Keyword to that being slightly, though. Like, I think I've gained like 5 more damage, which is not really worth it. Oh, he's just shot straight down. This fucking guy right here needs to die. Alright. Sword of Frost. Oh! I didn't realize it would change, like, the entire animation and everything. It actually gave it more reach, too. The more reach might actually be the more important part. Okay, you know what? I might be on board with this. Grab that, and then yeah, I always took Weakening Sword of Frost if I remember right. I just saw another weather alert that I presume is related to that hurricane that's going around. So if you're in the path of that, do make sure to take care of what you gotta do. And stay as safe as you can. Because boy, it's looking like that's gonna be a thing. Hey there, ABC, and if you mean what the emote is, that's based off of an old thing from... It was... Actually, yeah, it was over a year ago now that I played Alundra, where I got an item randomly from hitting something against a wall, and it became a universal sign of confusion around here. But how you been? If you mean the game, this is Dragon is dead, and boy have I been dead a lot today. So this, I feel, is much more self-explanatory than the emote. 12 intelligence, 20 max resources, 30 armor. Give me the intelligence. I need to hit harder. If I don't hit harder, I ain't gonna make it. Trying to become a little more durable has proven not to be effective for us at the scale they've increased their damage to be. Snag us a couple ruby keys. Don't really want that skewer that badly. I think I want an artifact more. Please be a useful artifact. This would have been great when I was still doing fire damage game. Yeah, exactly. And none of these are ice skills. Yeah, I understood what you meant. Take the Thief's Will, even though it's not going to really help. The gold should help if we manage to make it past the tree this time. Though I wish I had more faith in us actually making it past the tree. Well, I wish I had bought the thing for luck now, but it's fine. We'll grab a winter in the hopes that we get the rest of it. Yeah, exactly. English great, yes. Come on. Okay.
Flawless victory.
I don't know about that one. But we'll make do as best we can. Just have to survive just a bit longer, and then we'll become stronger. And then we should be in business. Fair. Fair enough. Go ahead and grab the chance to make them vulnerable so I can do more damage. Since we've got default multi-hit. Like, that's gonna be our trick right now, I think, is freezing our enemies just through attack spam. Because if they're frozen, they can't hurt us. So where are those ice waves coming from? Oh, that's right. That's one of the effects this has. Critical hits have a 65% chance to throw a shockwave. It's almost like that was half why I picked that weapon. You'd think I would remember. But why would I remember things? Remembering things is silly. I would generally not, because I'm not going to recognize most mobile games because I don't touch those. Like, I would have an exceptionally hard time getting any of those. That doesn't mean anything to me particularly. It could be the most popular mobile game in the world, and I still might not have any idea. You're welcome to spend your points on it, just don't be disappointed when you don't get it answered. Because that's half the point of it, is so I can learn something as well. Because, you know, After a certain point, I have to make sure people realize success is not guaranteed with that redeem. Because while my knowledge is extensive, certain descriptions end up not aligning between two people, and there's also a lot of games out there. Oh, there's a lot of games out there. Oh, speaking of, there's a lot of death here too. That poison elite is so nasty on this difficulty. Oh boy. There we go. Improve the cold amplification. I feel like they've given me worse RNG on this difficulty too. Like, I have just been getting garbage artifacts, like all up and down on the line here. Which is not really a shock, but it makes me unhappy. Time to die again. You're gonna have to hold that thought till this is over here. One misstep with this old boy and I'm gonna be dead again. Like that. Whew, that was too close for comfort. Got him. Cheeky bastard trying to kill me in the end of the fight. Okay. Yep, no, that means absolutely nothing to me. Like, I think this might be the one I have the least answer for. That doesn't really help. If anything, if it was popular in the 2010s and it was mobile, then that means even less to me. Because I wasn't even in the mobile market much at all. Even less so than now, back in the 2010, 2009. Assuming we're still on the topic of a mobile game, that is. I'll just hope that those two items help. similar to a half-broken rock. That could be a few things. But I'm not sure similar in what way. Like, I'm assuming the name is similar to that. I'm just not sure where that connection comes in. And we're dead, because I was frozen. Half-broken rock that is used in construction. Now I'm less sure what you're talking about. And yeah, that was an unavoidable death, considering I was frozen. There was nothing I could do. Nightmare might just be a little too high damage scaling. Like, they may actually want to consider toning that down a little, but then again, we don't have a full set of gear for this difficulty yet. So it's hard to be like, yeah, this might be just a problem. But it is definitely problematic. Well, yeah, I'm just trying to think of words that would even mean. And I'm not getting that either. Did we actually gain any new things? Yes. Because I think we couldn't make Ode to Bleeding before, even though we already had it multiple times. We now can make our own. So that's helpful, but I think that's the only thing we gained off of getting that rune, because the other ones all need another rune. Because we needed 14 and 17, and we got 15. So we can't make a better Ruon's Will. Yeah, I've definitely reached the point where I don't think I have the slightest idea what you're talking about. Go ahead and keep that for the other one. That won't help this character at all. We'll keep trying a nightmare for a little bit longer, and then we might wrap up before long. I say only for a little bit longer because there's every reality where somehow I hit like the perfect working thing and we fly forward on Nightmare finally. Again, I am aware of Fruit Ninja, but who made it doesn't mean anything to me offhand. It's like, I think out of everything that's come up, that's the only thing that has meant anything to me in this entire hint system you're trying to give me here. And even then, it doesn't lead to an answer. It just at least is something that I am aware of. See, I would not have thought of a brick as half a rock, either. That's why I was not understanding what you were getting at there. Like, I'm not saying what you said is wrong, just that didn't click for me at all. Nope. Still still means nothing to me. Like, I now know the studio name, but that doesn't solve anything because I don't know anything about that market. Yeah, go ahead, Biz. I don't think we're getting anywhere. I've heard of that game, but your description and that would have never lined up in my head. Because I have never played it. How the game is presented and how it actually plays may be two very different animals. And it's also something I probably would have last seen when I did see it 14 years ago. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is both having never played it and the fact that that's something from 14 years ago. There was no way I was gonna pull that one. At least in the PC and console market, I have at least been exposed to a lot more things, so I can usually infer something. Even if I end up getting the wrong answer. Mobile, I have just, like, absolutely nothing. Because even the mobile games I've played, I think I can count on, like, one hand the ones I remember even at all. And it's nothing against that market, it's just not a market I've ever had a use for. Because mobile games are typically the kind of thing that gets played when people are traveling around. And I don't really go anywhere. And no, I don't think I've played a mobile game in the past, like, 2 years. I already have too many games to keep up with on the other two markets. I wouldn't even have time for a mobile game. That's somewhat useful. I'm not using my resources right now, so that doesn't actually help. Correct. That's what I was getting at before when I said the mobile market means nothing to me, because I'm that far out of the loop on that. Like, the best I could do is a handful of big names could be named and I would recognize it, but describing them half the time would just mean absolutely nothing to me. Like something like Angry Birds, everybody knows that. You can find that one out just fine. And Flappy Bird, obviously. Like, those are ones that you could live under a rock and you'd know that one. Sounds good, ABC. You have a good one. Like I said, that's one everybody would know. Didn't I just pick up something that gives a point of luck, or did I not take that item? Oh, right, no, I didn't take the luck item. I took the merchant and the shatter. None of these have anything to do with the synergies I have. And I am just sad. Just gonna have to make the best of it. I'm gonna die, but I gotta do the best I can. 30% more armor. Debatably valuable. I feel like the 70 more health would be the more important choice still. Because 70 more health is basically half again the health I have right now. Whereas 30% of 300 armor is what, like 90 armor? Is 10% of 300 armor would obviously be 30. So 3 times that would be 90. So that's a significant increase too. That's basically I mean, obviously 30% would be basically a third. So that's the other way you could have looked at that to get the same answer. I feel like the health is more important. Since our biggest failing point so far has been getting one shot, I feel like the damage reduction increase from a third more armor would not be enough to prevent the one-shots. That's not to say that the 70 more health will do that either, but we've had better luck with that idea so far. And by better luck, I mean it's at least sometimes worked. I want the club. Just barely managed to dodge out of that death loop there. That would have been terrible. Okay. So we have 2 skill points to spend. Frost Slash didn't really do anything for us particularly. I don't think I've ever even used Frost Arrow, but I feel like at this point we might want to try it. Or I should say, early on I think I used Frost Arrow before, but I never used it a lot. But right now I feel like something that'll give me a chance to hit them first might be important. This first strike, like, is important in that it gives you an opening that you might otherwise not have. I mean, those skill points so I can keep moving up the line. The problem with moving up the line is some of these aren't going to be that helpful. Like, I feel like knowing your skills a lot more and knowing their synergies more is more important than just spending skill points. Whereas spending a pile of skill points can actually make a difference on normal. It's kind of interesting that way. Like, I feel like we are getting more and more of a handle on Nightmare, because obviously we are making it to the tree more. So clearly I'm doing something right. I just can't seem to maintain. Which again lines up with our early game experiences as well. We died how many times just trying to make any kind of progress back when we were first starting out in this? I think we had double-digit deaths before beating the tree more consistently than one at a time and then dying again. Not 100. I don't remember entirely anymore. It hasn't been that long, but for some reason Brain just like deleted that. Which, to be fair, it's not vitally important information, so that's probably why it wasn't ever retained. That's the other thing